Hop in bed, boys. Let's go.
Boys, get in bed.
Oh, can you at least tell us a story?
Sure.
Okay. This is the story of a very brave knight named Joel.
Joel the baby knight?
Yes, Joel the baby knight. But he's also Joel the very brave knight. And he was being chased by a dragon named Cancer.
Because of his tumor?
Mm-hmm.
Where does the dragon live?
In a forest.
Is the dragon big?
Very big.
Does the dragon breathe fire?
So much fire, you guys.
So, Joel has armor, like a sword and a shield and stuff? Ooh, or maybe a spear?
Yeah, that sounds good. So brave Sir Joel with his sword and his shield and his awesome spear and his super jumping ability was being chased by a dragon named Cancer.
What other superpowers does he have?
He also has grace.
That's not a superpower.
It's the best superpower.
Do you guys know what grace means?
Yeah, it's kind of like help.
Yeah, it's kind of like help. You know, and he's not the only one who's ever tried to fight this dragon. Some very brave knights have fought this dragon and lost. And some are able to drive the dragon off. And they can go home and they can quit fighting for the kingdom and safe.
Joel's been fighting this dragon for a long time, huh?
A long time.
But Joel found a nice empty cave where he could rest. And it seems like the dragon couldn't find him. But just when he thought that the danger was past, the dragon found his hiding spot and came after him in the cave.
Well, that dragon's going to kill Joel. Joel's going to lose.
Why do you say that?
Because Joel is just a baby. Babies can't kill dragons.
You're right. A baby can't kill a dragon. But that's the best part of this story. God fights for Joel. So he fights that dragon Cancer right with Joel. And we know that God can win even if Joel can't. That's grace.
Well, what about Tim from Church Mom? He died from cancer. Wasn't God fighting for him? Didn't he have grace?
Just God fought for Tim too. Tim fought so well. He was so brave, so strong. God let him rest. It may have seemed like the dragon won because Tim died. But we know that Tim's in heaven and that he's with God and that God is so proud of him. So maybe for Tim, getting to be done fighting was grace. the boat.
I can't.
You have to, you'll drown.
We're already drowning. How can you sit there like that?
Despair doesn't help anything.
Neither does false hope. And I'm not despairing.
How can you say false hope? You're drowning.
Well, you're missing your oars. And you don't even know where you're going. And yet you're so sure you're gonna get there.
It's better than drowning.
Well, enjoy floating on the surface like you always do.
There's nothing deep about drowning. Just get in the boat.
You have to let me feel this! Someone has to.
That's not fair. I love him as much as you do. I just really believe we're going to be okay.
Dear Mr. Barnett, I'm not sure if this letter will get to you. However, I felt the need to write to you in your company. My daughter recently passed away after a long battle with cancer, and she was only 14 years old. In our short time with her, we saw her transformed from our wonderful little girl into a sickly child who spent far too many days in her bed full of pain. We worried that we would never see her happy again. Well, the hospital gave her access to a computer, and she found her way to your game. I'm unsure really what it is, but from the day that she began playing Legends of Terrace, our daughter changed. She sat up, she was excited, she smiled again. She told us all these stories about what she was doing in the lands, all the things she wanted to do in real life but was too sick to try. She swam in the ocean, rode a horse, she had birthdays, bought a house, and she went on adventures with these new friends from all over the world. I don't know how to explain the happiness that it brought to us. For a short while, our daughter returned to us. She'd regained the wonder and an optimism that the illness had taken from her. She talked about strange lands that you had made, the creatures, magical things, and adventures she went on. She lost her battle for life, but you helped bring our daughter back for a short time. And for that, we're eternally thankful. Sincerely, Julie.
Dear Julie, thank you for your letter. I am honored to have played any small part in bringing your daughter joy. She will be missed within the game. I knew your daughter as Hanara of the Knights Guild. In our world, she lived in Dvardik and defended the city many times from the forces of evil. Your daughter may have ultimately lost her battle with that dragon cancer, but in my game, she was the dragon slayer. Since you don't know much about the game or who she was there, I'm sending you a screenshot of one of your daughter's adventures. Sincerely, Paul.
I'm reminded that having faith does not mean denying what is happening to Joel. Faith means knowing exactly what is happening and also knowing that God has a truth that trumps every other fact. I'm sure my expectation looks like denial, but seeing Joel dying does not make me any less certain that he will be healed. In some ways, I feel more certain, not because the same doubts don't come to me, but because I know that they will not be entertained much longer, because this chapter is almost finished, and we will have an ending one way or the other. So the doubts and fears that make me reaffirm that even if I'm wrong, this is where I stand, become less and less powerful. People's conciliatory words of comfort meant to reassure us and help us accept Joel's death don't sit well with me. They aren't offensive because I know the heart behind them is good, but they are weak words because it's so obvious to me that death is the given. I don't have to work to be ready for it or accept it. It is coming whether I would accept it or not. It has been coming slowly for so long. I don't have to work to understand that Joel is dying. It is obvious. Heaven is amazing. And so I'm not worried about death. It will come regardless of where I stand and wait. But now, death is circling close enough for redemption to finally feel closer. This is the part of the story where a daring rescue can thwart death's intentions just in time, perhaps when it looks like it's already too late. I want to watch for that. I don't need to focus my eyes on death, studying it in its slow progression. Its course is already clear. But there is a glory that is coming, and its journey to us is wild and quick and frightening, and I want to be watching for that glory. I want to stand trembling in awe before God and His power. Not sure that this thing that we've asked for is something we can quite manage, but trying anyway. Death is the given. But the life that is possible now for Joel, the miracle that could come now that death is so close, is something worth pursuing. Worth risking everything to see with my own eyes.